Hey, this is Life with Sean Renee here, back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This video is about girlfriend finds out boyfriend being nasty on Roblox. Let's watch the video.
Story time on how I found out my husband was grooming and smexting a 15-year-old on Roblox. So I guess I'll go to the start of where he started being distant. He has cheated for sure in the past, and every single time he has, it's always been like that. Like he gets really distant and mean or whatever to me. So it was around like the beginning of February where I started noticing that he was being like that. And I was like, what the hell? And I think I maybe asked him once if there was someone else because he had just started going to school and he started a new job. So I was like, okay, yeah, there's somebody else, I guess. But I will say that I was already going through so much during this time. My aunt had just passed away in December. And then literally a month later, my dad went into cardiac arrest and he's been in a vegetative state ever since then. And 4 days later, my husband started doing this. So I didn't think that he would actually do that while I was already going through so much, but he did. So pretty much, yeah, the beginning of February, he was on Roblox. We both had a Roblox account because we played with our kids on it. I know a lot of comments were saying like, oh, if you're on Roblox and you're an adult, you're a creep. Like, I get that, but also like I just used it to play with my kids. Obviously, some other people have worse intentions. My god, I'm already getting traumatized again. So pretty much the entire month of February, he was treating us like complete crap. And I was so confused and I was like, what is going on? And it got to a point where I was like, you should just go stay with your mom. And I've said that to him before, and every single time I've said that to him, he's always been like, no, I don't want to go to my mom's house. And he complains about her, complains about the sister, and he doesn't want to go. So this time he was willing to go, and that would like set off the hairs on my back. And I was like, okay, he's only willing to go because there's somebody else. And I was right. Anyways, it was on February 26th. I was working right there at that computer. That's where I work. I work from home. I have for almost 2 years. And my daughter came in. I got out at 5 that day, and it was like 4:40. And my daughter came in, and she was like upset. Like she was upset, visibly upset. She was crying, and I was like, what happened? I thought she got into a fight with her brother or something. And she was like, well, I saw Daddy texting a girl on Roblox, and when he saw that I saw, he pushed me. And that pissed me off. And mind you, I was still at work. So I was like, I'm sorry, Olive. And then, sorry, I didn't mean to say her name, but I told her I was sorry. And I was like, just give me a second. Okay, I'm almost out of work. I'll take care of it. So then I comforted her or whatever. She went to her room and she was okay, I guess. Right after she said that, I got a call because I work at a call center. So I was like, I had to like put a mask on and be like, okay, this is not happening. And I had to just pretend it wasn't happening, even though I felt sick. Like I felt the room spinning around me because I was like, great, he's cheating again. So then I got out of work, went to go check on my kids. They were okay. They were playing together. And he was in the kitchen. So I got upset. I'm sorry. Oh, well, if I cry, it is what it is. So I confronted him. I went to the kitchen. That's where he was. And I asked him for his phone. And he looked shocked. And he was like, what do you need my phone for? I was like, give me your fucking phone. And I was still like, why did you push all of it? And he's like, no, I didn't push her. And I was like, yeah, whatever. He fucking did push her, I guess. So I took his phone. I went back to the room. My room where my desk is and stuff. And I was already out of work. And I opened Roblox and I braced myself. Because I'm sorry. I already knew that I was gonna see something that I didn't want to see. So I opened the app and I saw like the messages. It wasn't anything like too bad. It was really, really obvious right then and there that he was doing something. But I didn't know how bad it actually was until later that night. So I called him into the room. Okay, yeah, let me go back. The first message that I saw said, it was from him to her, and it said, I keep thinking about last night. I can't believe last night was real. So I thought that he did something with someone at work or at school or something, and he's just talking about it. Like, that's where my mind was. I was like, he did something with someone at like the hotel. He worked at a hotel overnight. Keep that in mind, by the way. And he went to school during the day, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I immediately felt so sick because I was like, you're seeing what I'm going through with my aunt and my dad, and you did this shit to me like when I needed you the most, right? So I was already super upset about that. And he was like, I don't want you. I don't love you. I don't like you. I don't like the way you look. I don't want to be with you. I want a divorce. And I was like, okay, well, clearly we're going to get a divorce because what the fuck? I'm not going to deal with this shit. Like, you crossed the line, whatever. And so the kids were kind of like needing us again. So I was like, honestly, let's just put this to rest right now. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. But I didn't want him to get away with like the messages or whatever. I wanted to see like more. So I locked his phone, I changed the password on it, and just so he couldn't go in and delete anything or whatever. So then eventually, like, the kids ate, they went to sleep, and then I got on his phone again. I was looking through the messages, they were bad. And something in my head was like, this girl, like, I think she's not of age. I don't think she's 18. 1 second. So he was laying on the bed, and I was like, how old is this girl? And he looked at me like he was scared. And I was like, how old is she? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, you're fucking lying. How old is she? And he didn't want to tell me. He's like, I told you, I don't want to talk to you about this anymore. And I was like, okay. So I braced myself again and I went to her messages and I was like, how old are you? And then she responded and she was like, I'm 15. I told you that many times. And she sent like a bunch of question marks. And at that point, it was so beyond cheating or an affair. It was beyond that. It was so beyond that. I don't even know how to describe it. I have never felt so sick in my life. Ever. Over finding something out. So I ran to the bathroom, I threw up, and I was like, sick. And at this point, it was like almost 10 o'clock, I think. I don't even remember. And I was like, Jesse, because that's his name. I was like, I'm going to report you for this. And he started panicking and he was like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And I was like, I am going to do that because it's a child. That's disgusting. What's wrong with you? I don't even know who you are. Like, it was like I was looking at a complete stranger. Okay. It was disgusting. So I called the non-emergency line because obviously like it wasn't a dire emergency. Like someone wasn't actively being hurt. So I called the non-emergency line. And eventually 2 officers showed up. I'm sorry. Between the time that I called and the officers showed up, he started this whole smear campaign with like his family, and he was like, oh, it's her fault that I did this. It's her fault that I did this. She pushed me to do it. She treats me bad. And I was like, what the fuck? He said that I called him a POS every day, and I was like, well, you are one, but I didn't call you that every day. But either way, like nothing would excuse you from doing this with a minor, you know what I mean? And because he was blaming me, and every single time he's cheated or whatever in the past, he's always blamed me for it, I blamed myself too. And I was like, okay, so if the cops come and they arrest you, they're gonna arrest me too since it's my fault that you did this. That's what I had thought. So I called my sister-in-law, and I don't mean sister-in-law by his hoe-ass sister, I mean my brother's wife. So she came over in case I got arrested because I was convinced that I was going to get arrested for what he did. So the cops got there. They were talking to him outside. There was 2 cops. One of the cops was talking to him outside. He admitted to knowing she was 15. He admitted to having all these inappropriate conversations with her. And they did not arrest him yet. And on the inside, I had his phone, so I was showing the cop all of the messages that I saw. And eventually, I guess because the girl was like spamming the phone, and she was like, what do you mean? Like, because I sent that message about like how old are you or whatever, so she was like, what are you talking about? So I just sent a message saying he's actually 29 in front of the cop, and he has kids and everything. And then she started crashing out saying like she's gonna go unalive herself and blah blah blah. And the cops saw, so at that point I was like, okay, it's in your hands now, not mine. Like, I did what I had to do. So they immediately seized his phone, they read him his rights, and then because we own the house together, they were like, neither of you have to leave. And I was like, I was so confused about why he didn't immediately get arrested. So obviously I told the hotel, oh my gosh, there's so much more to the story. I don't even think I can fit in here. But basically he was talking to her while he was at work overnight at the hotel and at school. So because he was doing this inappropriate thing at work, I called his job and I was like, he was talking to a 15-year-old. They immediately fired him. They're like, I'm so sorry, that's disgusting. I was like, yeah, it is disgusting. Okay. So right now, currently today, I have already filed for divorce and he's still under investigation. And I really don't know what's going to happen next, but that's basically what happened. I'm pretty sure I left some stuff out because I'm trying to just go off the top of my head. But yes, if you can just imagine the most sexually explicit thing that you can say to someone, that's what he was saying to this girl.
Hey girl, you know what? Your husband is nasty because he's sitting there talking to a 15-year-old girl and he's disrespectful to your daughter by pushing her because she told on him. And that's just, I can't believe that he would do that and then try to blame it on you. Like, how dumb and low can you be? And then blame it on you. Oh, the reason why we're not together, we're not close like we used to be because of me. It's my fault. Girl, I don't know what's going on with these men out here. Like, if he doesn't want to be with you, he could have just divorced you a long time ago. And now he's gonna be in jail for a long time for doing stupid stuff. Like, that's nasty. He's gonna be on the vexer offender list because he's over here talking to minors. That's disgusting. What do y'all think about this video? You know what to do. Comment below. This is Life with Sean Renee, and I'm out. Bye.